What's going on, everyone? So when you look at Scream, and particularly the Ghostface, the killers, there's always been a family element. There's always been a sort of family dynamic to it. Family has played a big role in Scream, period, right? I mean, going back to Maureen Prescott, right? Sidney's mother. And then you had the full circle moment with Roman, and Roman is Sidney's brother, right? But even you look at like Billy and Stu. Well, you end up having Billy's mother, Mrs. Loomis, Debbie Stahl, ends up being the killer, right? Then you fast forward to Scream 3, like I said, you have Roman. Scream 4, you have Jill, who's Sidney's niece. And then even Scream 5 and 6, you have the family dynamic from Billy's daughter and the boyfriend coming after her. And then in Scream 6, you get the the father and the siblings, right? So Scream has always maintained this family element, this family dynamic. And I'm okay with them sticking with that, sticking with the family. I actually want that very badly. Why? Because Sidney's daughter is supposed to be in the upcoming Scream movie, right? She is supposed to be a focal point. Supposedly her name is Tatum in the film. And it's supposedly being played by McKenna Grace. That's not confirmed, so take that with a grain of salt. But whoever it ends up being, even if it's not her, if it's somebody else entirely, that's fine, right? I really want a family dynamic because you have an opportunity here with the Scream franchise that we've never gotten. Again, it's always been a Scream family part of it, right? But you've never gotten a immediate family being targeted by Ghostface. You've never gotten the mother, daughter, husband, right? And you have Sidney Prescott, who now is a mother. One, mind blown, right? It's like, did we see that coming? When did that become a thing, right? And look, I've seen people, I get a lot of comments and I see people talk a lot about like, oh, it's silly, like, Nev never talked about a child in Scream 4. So, it doesn't make sense. Like, she was on a book tour, right? And everybody that she knows in Woodsboro all know that she would have had a kid, right? Like, yes, so obviously the kid thing wasn't established in Scream 4. However, it's not like Scream 4 didn't play out in a way where it's like, it doesn't make any sense that Sidney didn't have kids. No, she was on a book tour. She's in Woodsboro. She's not going to take her, at that time, her children would have been little, right? So it makes sense that Mark and Kay would stay back with the kids so that way Sidney could go and do her book tour, right? So she does her book tour. Dewey and everybody, like, they're not going to, like, what are they supposed to do? In every talking dialogue be like, oh, Sidney, are you good? Are you hungry? Oh, how are the kids, right? Like, oh, hey, Sidney, how was yesterday? It was great. Okay, hey, how are the kids? Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal, right? But just wanted to kind of went on a rant there for a moment. But my point is that, like, I'm all for the family dynamic. I prefer the family dynamic. Give me that. Focus that. Make that be what this movie is about. Make that be what this film really kind of prides itself on. However, for the love of God, everything, movie gods, whatever, for the love of everything, do not make her daughter or some family member. Can we just get as far away from that as possible? Again, we have seen Sidney's mother die in the first one, right? We've seen her brother be the killer. We've seen her niece, right? Know what Jill was, her niece, whatever she was, her be the like. We've seen the good old fashioned revenge of the mother, seen the good old fashioned revenge of the father, right? Can we get away from the family killers? Can we do that? Right? Like, I would rather there be no motive and just some psychotic lunatics that you just can't explain crazy that are running around killing people. I would much prefer that than to see something where, like, Tatum ends up snapping and she becomes Ghostface and she just, her mom's too overbearing and she's just, and, it's just like, oh, look, you never saw that coming. It was the daughter this time. you thought the daughter was going to be this, but no, we switched it up. And I'm not going to lie, I am petrified that that's going to be the thing. Why? Why, Fate? Why are you petrified that's going to be the thing? Because Scream 5 was Scream 96 2.0. Scream 6 was Scream 2 2.0. And Scream 7, you don't think is going to have some elements of Scream 3 2.0 or even Scream 4 2.0, where that would make a lot of sense, right? You have the daughter now become the killer, and boom, please don't do that. I'm worried that they're going to have some like full circle tie-in thing where, like I could see where, the dreaded thread in which Richie did, like she ends up, Sidney's daughter ends up becoming manipulated by that, and she buys into the movement and the cause, just like Jason and Greg, and she's been radicalized, and now Sidney has to take out her own daughter, right? Like you can't tell me you don't see a scenario where that plays out. There's no way you can tell me that that's not something you can wholeheartedly see taking place in Scream. Because again, I can't. I could see this being a Sidney-centric film focused on the daughter and her, building this relationship and this dynamic. Sidney is just kind of like this overbearing, over-the-top mother, and her daughter's incredibly rebellious, and it's just like, and then the whole time we're like, it can't be the daughter. It's not the daughter. They're not going to do the daughter route. They're not going to do the daughter. And then, it's the daughter, right? Like, that is like genuinely my biggest fear. And I said the same stuff about Scream 6. And I said they're gonna do the revenge thing, and they're gonna have, Dick Bailey or somebody end up being Richie's father, and I'm gonna hate it, and because it's gonna be too predictable, it's gonna be ridiculous, blah blah. And people said, no, Fate, like, don't worry, that's not gonna happen. They're not gonna make a Scream 2 2.0. Like, it's gonna be different. And then fast forward, and it was the same thing. Yes, I understand there were 3 killers, and I understand that they did things a little different, but at the end of the day, it became the same thing, right? I don't want that. I don't want them to do a Scream 3 where it's like, this full circle dating back to Richie, right? Oh, you thought Richie wanted to do it. Well, Sidney's daughter became radicalized and was talking to Richie at one point. Like, I don't want that to be the case. Like, genuinely, I pray that that's not the case. I hope that they just keep it simple, keep it straightforward. You have Sidney's daughter. You have Sidney's husband and Mark Kincaid. You have Sidney Prescott. Have Ghostface just target them. Why are they targeting him? Who cares? Okay, it's the 30th anniversary, and it's Sidney Prescott. Whatever. I don't care. Like, as long as it's not the daughter, I care less what the motive is at that point. And I think it would be okay to just be like, it's the 30th anniversary. It's Sidney Prescott. Who doesn't want to try to take out Sidney Prescott? Like, they could have some, like, little, and, like, let's say it's 3 killers again, right? Like, they could each have, like, their own individual motive, right? Maybe one of them is just crazy or whatever, but ultimately it's just, you boil it down, it's like, okay, they just wanted to kill Sidney Prescott on the 30th anniversary, right? Like, that, I think, would be fine, and totally makes sense. It's just straightforward, and it's just simple, and it's easy, and it's not some like mirrored thing for everything, because that there's going to be some 30th anniversary tie-in. Right? This film comes out in 2026. It'll be 30 years since the original film. Not like to the date, but close enough, right? So I would be shocked if it's not some 30th anniversary thing where they're tying, like, they're going to definitely do that. And again, that's fine. That's okay. Sign me up for that, right? We can do that. But you got, like, give me some tie-in that isn't like, we're going to tie it all together by it being Tatum, who's Sidney's daughter, is now the kid. Like, telling you, I'm going to run through a wall. That is, like, 'cause I can see that happening. 100% I can see that happening. And I am going to be very perturbed, okay, if that's the case. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Do you think, like, yes, please do not, for the love of everything, do not have Ghostface be her daughter or anything like that. Have her be a target, have it be interesting. Maybe you can use it as a red, like, I don't mind a red herring, right? Like, if you want to use Sidney's daughter, it's like, oh, are they really doing Jill 2.0 again type thing? Like, I'm fine with that. And then at the end, it's like, haha, it wasn't the daughter, right? Like, sure. As long as at the end, we're not like, oh, it's the daughter. Like, I don't want that Ghostface reveal and it's the daughter. Like, I wouldn't even mind if you kept it kind of ominous at the end where it's like, oh, maybe there's another Ghostface that got away. And it's like, is it the daughter? Is it not? But ultimately, it never becomes the daughter. I'm okay with that. Just don't make it the daughter. But do you agree with me? Do you feel the same way? Do you not? Are you in between? Are you okay with it being the daughter? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you like this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.